Sure. Hi guys. Beginners week 3. So I want to preface this with Tanya had a really good point about accountability and coming to class. I know that makes a big difference. I get it that I can say do it at home, but really kind of try to hold yourself accountable. So right now, if you didn't do last week, if you didn't go over the mindfulness or do the homework, go back to that. That's the beauty of this, is you can go back to it and really hold yourself accountable. And then practice the postures and then practice the mindfulness piece and then come back to this one. But if you did practice this and you are moving on to week 3 and you're ready to go, that's fantastic. So the homework was just 3 breaths, and that was taking 3 breaths throughout the day and just stopping, slowing down. So I can't wait to hear the feedback. Feel free really to send me a message on the feedback, how that went. If you want to, I really enjoy hearing about the different effects that has. And that's a great one because it leads us into this meditation piece. And I don't notice how much I swiggle around until I record myself, so that's always fun. Anyhow, so meditation. There's so many benefits, and in this day and age, we all really need it. We really need to slow down the mind, slow down the social media, slow down the whirlwind that is happening in our heads at any time. It doesn't matter if you're happy, sad, glad, scared, worried, elated. You can always use your meditation. So tons of benefits. It reduces high blood pressure, anxiety, depression, lowers cholesterol, lowers risk of heart disease. It helps you focus and concentrate when you're not on the mat as well. It helps build, it's proven to help build the brain and keep the brain working. So there's things with correlations with meditation and Alzheimer's as people get older. You have self-confidence, more self-confidence and a sense of your authentic self. You get to really see things for what they are. We talked about before last week with the mindfulness, if your brain, pretend like your feet are in the water and you're kicking up muck, pretend that's your brain, how are you going to see things for what they really are until you keep your feet still? And there still might be some movement, but you can see the bottom. You can see things for what they really are, and that's what meditation does for you. With that said, it is probably one of the most difficult things in beginners for people to wrap their heads around. Even when I move to level 2 and we get a little bit deeper with it, it's still one of those things that people are saying, I'll do that tomorrow. So now's the time to really try. And I'm speaking from my experience. When I was in school, if I walked into the room and my teacher had it set up for meditation, every bone in my body, everything, every cell in my body wanted to run out to my car and leave. I would rather stand on my head for 8 hours than have tried to meditate because I didn't understand it, because I was afraid of it. There were a lot of reasons that I only found out through meditation. Now, tell me we're going to meditate and I'm just so happy. It took me a long time and a lot of practice. Okay, this is really the thing you got to practice a lot, especially if you say, I can't sit still, that's my personality. I can't, because that's what I always said. That's not true. That's not your authentic self. Down deep can sit still. You can. But let me go through and give you some tools and talk about it. Once you get over your body fight or flighting it and saying, this isn't something I want to be doing, you might experience seeing the big picture of life, getting a better sense of meaning, joy and bliss, relaxation and self-knowledge. Who doesn't want all those things? And you can gain that through meditation. Sorry, I thought I saw something back there. I can see where it would be distracting, but again, try. We can't have it all perfect, and that's another point with meditation. One of the hindrances is well, my cushion's not comfortable, or I don't have a cushion, or there's no place that I can go to do this where it's quiet. You're going to make, your brain will make these things, these obstacles. And it's up to you to say, all right, let's figure this out. Everything's not always going to be perfect. Same thing with doing these videoed classes. So this is the big aha thing with meditation. We're all human beings, and our minds will never completely stop. So that is not the goal of meditation. Our minds are going to keep flowing. The thoughts are going to come through. The goal of meditation, and I'll say this a couple times, is when your mind wanders, to notice it and bring it back with kindness. So when you first begin meditation, you'll be sitting maybe for 10 seconds, who knows how long, unless you try, but you'll be sitting and your mind will go over here and you'll say, oh, mind, why, dog, shoot, now I have to start over, I'm not good at this, I can't do this. Okay, that's not meeting it with kindness. So the more and more you practice and you feel like you're all the way over here into next week, you start to notice it and you just say, all right, that's fine, I'm going to take a deep breath and come back to my practice. So the people that you see that have been meditating for years and years, maybe their whole lives, when they look so calm, they're fine with if their mind goes away for a second, thinks some wacky thought, because that's something that can happen too. When you move away all the layers of this junk that we have going on up here, this stuff, the past, the future, and you see things clearly, weird things might come up in your head. And you just say, whatever, that's kind of crazy, never thought that, and come back to your breath. And the more and more you practice, I promise, the more and more you practice, the less it's going to wander, and you're going to catch it faster, and you're going to catch it with kindness. Okay, but go through the steps. Go through, there's steps that you need to go through, just like when you're learning a posture. Lecture over with that part. I just really want to tell you that most people have a problem with this piece, and sometimes even skip over the whole thing. In beginners, they pretend like we never had this talk. And I really think it's so important for all of us to try. And again, some people, some things that, and this has all been proven. I didn't make this up, but I've heard all of it. I'm not good at it. I'm just not good at it. That's one of the hindrances. I'm not made to just sit and do nothing. I'm just doing nothing. Okay, when you're actually really doing something great for yourself and the people around you. I tried and it doesn't work. Again, it's practice. Okay, the first time I rode a bike, it didn't happen right away, but you practiced and practiced and practiced. I can't stop my thoughts. Remember, the goal of meditation is not to stop your thoughts. It's when they wander to bring them back. And if you practice that in life, someone's talking, maybe me right now, and you're over here thinking about your grocery list. You need to come back and focus on what's happening in the moment. So the things that you're already doing with yoga, when we go into a balancing posture, which I forgot to do last week, I remember that after. Anyhow, we'll go into balancing today. But when you're balancing, it's really hard to think about anything else. Okay, you are focused. You're in a meditative state. When you're thinking about the breath, okay, and really, even if you're not learning the yogic breathing, if you're already pretty aware of it, noticing the breath, that's a meditative state. You can be in a meditative state without having to sit like this and om and have a cushion and all these things. That's what you see on TV. You want to try. The goal of meditation is when your mind wanders to bring it back to your breath. Now in the beginning, breath is kind of difficult, so here are some tools. Oh, also another meditative state is being in the car, I find if you're in the car and you're noticing what's happening without reacting to it, so, oh, somebody just put their blinker on. I'm coming to a stop sign, without saying, I'm going to get backed up in traffic. I'm never going to get there today. The Dunkin' Donuts, nope. What is happening right there? So being mindful, but you're also in a meditative state. Remember that. So some tools to use anytime. But if breathing, if coming back to your breath is just not working for you that day or yet, or whatever the case may be, adding your mantra. That's that word we've been working on, that sentence, short sentence in the present tense. Maybe the reason why you took this clinic, maybe what you're looking for in life, maybe it's a bigger picture, whatever it is, adding I am to the beginning of it. And it doesn't have to be exactly that, but it needs to be in the present, like it's happening right now. So if your word was health, I am health. Flexibility, mine is I am enough. So whatever one speaks to you, if you haven't come up with one that exactly you really want to go with, just pick something positive that you want to take from yoga and add I am to the front. So if you say that every breath in as you meditate, it's going to help you. And you're also reinforcing a positive thing. But you're going to, if your mind wanders, you're going to say, oh wait, go back to your mantra. That's one tool. Mala beads, so these are used, this is what I wear around my wrist. They're not just pretty, because they love them, but you touch each one, there's 108. And you find the beginning, which is usually a little tag or tassel. Mine is a Om symbol. But you touch each one, and you can take a breath, you can say your mantra, and you go around twice. So these will keep you in the moment. They're also, they come in all different stones, so they're different healing stones. And you slowly go around, or you go around, take a big deep breath, or repeat your mantra twice. So by the time you're done with this, you'll have done a good amount. I don't know exactly the amount of time, maybe 6 minutes, 7 minutes. If you go slowly, and they keep you in the moment. Another thing is stones or crystals, having something in your hand to remind you what you're doing. So, and it can also be another healing stone. You can't get enough of things that are healing and good for us. So holding it and remembering and breathing while you're here. Okay. Music. So if you listen to meditation music, now if you listen to it and really listen to it, there's a ding or a bing or noise, and what that is a reminder to come back. So if you look up meditation music on however you find your music, you're going to find that it has, if you really listen, and that helps a lot of people. And the music is soothing, calming, right? Guided meditation. So at the end of practice, these are full because I don't want the videos to be so long. I'll do one today that's not as long, but a guided meditation is fine. And that ideally I'd like you to try it on your own with another tool. But guided meditation gets you used to calming your mind, listening to the person that's giving the meditation. Okay, I use them for sleep almost every night, so it's fine to use them. But there's a really good feeling you get when you realize that you just meditated, even if it's for your first 2 minutes. It's like you just busted a handstand, and you're so excited. So, and then your mind goes off, and you're so excited, but you can bring it back and say, I can do that. So trying to do it on your own, there's a real, I'm not finding the word right now, but it's a very good feeling. And it's best to try to meditate after you've done something physical. So think about when we go through the entire practice today, your mind has been working, your body's been working, and you're ready to lay down in Shavasana, and you're ready for a guided meditation. So if possible, practice your yoga, go for a run, whatever it is physical that you do that and then practice your meditation. 3 to 5 minutes a day. Give me that for 1 week for your homework, please. And if you go further, you go further. You can go as far as you want, but just try. And what do you have to lose? You have really nothing to lose. And if it's not working, remember that these are the hindrances. It's working. It's just practice. Okay. So that is that. And I'm going to send you, because I'm not going to go through them. When we're done, I'm going to send you a list of those hindrances, the things that keep people from meditation, and the homework that I was given for that in school. And that's something else. If you want to do it, go for it. If you want to do 2 homeworks, fantastic. But meditation is a big one. So let's get going. Week 3, we kick it up a notch. So let's just get here now. Also, with practicing at home, if your yoga mat is visible to you, I'm not saying leave it out, because it's a nice kind of thing to roll it up and put it somewhere mindfully. But if it's somewhere where you can see it, it kind of will call out to you and you'll be like, I really should practice today. Yes, but I don't know, not all of us are at home, but if you are, you'll see it and you'll be like, okay, fine, Kelly, I'll practice. So leave it somewhere visible. Anyhow, we're always starting off grounding, and in beginners, we're going to start always in this seated position, your comfortable seat. It doesn't have to be legs crossed. You just saw me move around, but I'm comfortable now. Okay, if I wasn't, I could put a leg out. It doesn't have to be like you see on commercials. Okay? And just closing your eyes or a gentle gaze at the ground, starting to relax the hands, just not clenched, relax the face. And now picture roots growing through your sit bones, through the mat, through the ground. Really visualize them, grounding you right here and now. So whatever happened before you turn this on, that can't be changed. And whatever's going to happen in the future, guys, we can't control. So the only place to be truly at peace and be happy is what's happening here and now. Taking this hour and 10 minutes for yourself. Okay? Now we're going to take an internal flashlight and do a mindful body scan. So starting with your feet, scanning up the body, and if you get a sensation, either pleasurable or not, just think of it as that and move forward. So greet it with kindness. It could be an ache, it could be a good feeling, it could be chilliness on your feet. Just notice what's happening. Moving all the way up, keep scanning until you get to your mind, your head. Okay? And again, we're not going to get stuck there. We're just going to notice. And if you'd like to give yourself a number, you can do that now. You don't have to. Some people just like that sort of structure with it. But let's move to the spine. So your spine is not, none of our spines are the same. None of our vertebrae is exactly like we see in science class. So you want, or anatomy class, you want your vertebrae, they might be like rocks that you see those rocks at the beach. But best you can, starting with the base of your spine, mindfully scanning up and stacking one vertebrae on top of the other. Okay? So you get all the way up to the top. Remember your roots, remember your grounding. And now we're going to move to the breath. So just for a moment, notice it. No judgment, but where's your breath coming from? Are you breathing out your mouth or your nose? Is it warm or is it cool? Just notice it. Mindfully, that's how we're getting into this moment, all these things. Now we're going to deepen it. So we're taking a big deep breath in, the stomach's going to expand. And as you exhale, you're squeezing out cold air and you're getting hollow. So think big belly breath, using that diaphragm. So we use like 10% of our lung capacity by chest breathing. So by doing these big deep breaths, you want to think about big deep breath. Exhale through your nose or your mouth. Okay, that's how long and deep they should be. And when people say, how long should I hold this, Kelly? 5 long, full, deep breaths. How much better does it feel to breathe that way? Keep breathing and try to keep that as much as you can, that same deep belly breath. This time, take a deep breath in, bring your shoulders all the way up to the ears, bring them back, and on the exhale, slide them down. Okay, hands soften up again, they might tense up there, but this is how you want to live. You want to practice sitting like this, sleeping like this, walking like this, driving like this. So we scrunch when we get nervous or cold or uncomfortable. Okay, we don't want that, because the way we physically feel is the way we mentally feel, that mind-body connection. So anytime during the day, down, back, and then exhale down. So we're doing a bunch of things. We're keeping all this space open. And we're also plugging into those shoulder blades. Okay, we need those muscles in our shoulders for our upper body strength, but also to protect the spine there. So I like the analogy of like just plugging in the shoulders like into a wall socket. Anytime during practice, during the day, you can always bring the shoulders up, back, and all the way down and practice that. And the more you do that, the less awkward it's going to feel. Deep breath in, and on the exhale, drop the head off to the side. Check in with the spine. See if you're still stacking your vertebrae. Any aches or pains or strange feeling in the neck, feel free to move it or just keep it there. Big space here. And deep breath in, head up to the center. Exhale, head over to the other side. So if you're doing these every morning, 5 deep, full breaths. Like I said last week, just for time's sake, not holding them as long. Still getting the full stretch in our neck, and again, feel free to move the neck around. Head back up to the center, and then just dropping it forward, trying to keep the spine, the spine still straight, and then just dropping the head forward. Big deep breaths here. Try to think when you breathe, when you inhale, when you exhale, you're sending the air down to your core. And you might start to flex your stomach when you do that. When you're squeezing the air out, start engaging the core. Head up to the center. If it doesn't hurt your neck, dropping it back and opening up the throat. Okay, we talk about everything that's going on in here, the glands, your thyroid, where you speak from. If you have allergies or whatever's going on, you want to open this area and notice what the breath feels like. Good, and head comes back up. 6 ways to move your spine every single day. Opposite hand to opposite knee. The other hand's going behind me. First of all, I get real tall, so that's just this movement. You want to always be getting tall in yoga. And on deep breath in, get tall. And on the exhale, you start to twist. Low part of your spine, middle. Think of it as a spiral staircase that you're slowly climbing. Your shoulder, and finally your neck's going to come around. Now, deep breath in, keep getting tall. Exhale, twisting. If you're coming ungrounded or it's starting to do that bad pain thing, you're going too far too fast. Every deep breath in, you get tall. Every exhale, you remember your twist. Maybe you get an inch deeper, maybe not. Just warming up the spine for movement. Other way. So opposite knee to opposite hand. Other hand's behind you. Deep breath in, get tall. Exhale, twisting from the base of your spine. So we're moving around all of our organs as well as taking good care of the spine. And deep breath in, get tall. Exhale, twisting. And not just doing our forward motion. And release. Now, Next two ways, so that's the first two ways. Next two ways is laterally. So your hand comes to the mat, you're still staying grounded. You're gonna reach up from your hip. So reach so you feel it in your hip, and then come on over. Deep breath in, get tall, exhale like someone's pulling your arm. But if you become ungrounded, you're going too far. Okay, so you wanna go where your body will tell you, where it's ready for today, right now. You just have to listen to it, tall and reaching. And other side, again, reach all the way up from your hip, and then come over. So if you scrunch when you make that movement, all you do is get back tall again, and then like someone's pulling your arm towards this wall. And as long as it's not sharp and shooting, go with it. So remember, bad pain, sharp shooting, bone grinding, nerve pinching, ow, real ows. Okay, but if you feel a stretch, breathe into the spot that's tight. Exhale, release, let go. Good. Back to the center. Last two ways, forward and back. So I say get tall out of the spine. It's this. Rather than crawling forward this way, you're going to get tall first, then you're going to walk your hands forward till you get to where your body says that's it. Drop your head, shake it yes and no so you know you're not holding tension. And every deep breath in, you come out of the hip a little bit, and then maybe you can walk your fingers a little bit more, maybe not. Breaths are so deep that you feel the skin on your low back stretching. Good, and walking the hands back. Again, you need to know and listen to good pain, bad pain. Warming up for back bends, fingers can be facing here. Get a nice forearm stretch, fingers can be facing away. Fingertips real wide, pop the chest out, drop the head back. So getting the spine ready for some back bends that we're going to be doing. Good. Head comes up to the center, and meet me in tabletop. Things you need to remember in tabletop. Fingertips are always spread real wide like starfish, and you're going to come in and start with your knuckles. Okay, so we're not pressing into the fingers or the palms. We're pressing into the knuckles, then land your fingers and palms, and then for even more support, you can press into the pinky and the thumb. So that's really going to alleviate any stress you're putting on your wrists. Wrists are under your shoulders, knees are under your hips, your back's neutral, which just means flat. You want to look for your knees, make sure you can't see your toes, and then you're going to take a deep breath in, drop the belly, butt goes to the air, looking all the way up. And on the exhale, you're going to curl like a Halloween cat, press away, tuck the pelvis under. Now continue these cat-cows, so this is cow, and this is cat. Continue these with your breath. So use your breath, full breath. So you're flowing your body with the sound of your breath. Good. One more wherever you are. Just finish that round. Go back to your flat back. Check out your fingers. Are your fingertips still wide? Are you pressing into your knuckles? And we're just going to sit back into a child's pose. Now, for the next one, if you want to stay in child's and watch me, go for it. Or you can come back up to tabletop. So here, I'm getting my glutes towards my heels. Doesn't have to be there. And I'm reaching. Okay, so this is a safe place to go at any time, whether you're watching me or not. You can also watch from tabletop. This is what we're going to do. Leg is going to come out straight. Foot is flexed. You're pressing away from the mat. Fingertips are still wide. You're going to take a deep breath in on the exhale. You're going to bring your knee up, and over. Okay, so you're using your core. You want to bring it up like a dog on a fire hydrant. Sorry, that's the example that I relate with the most. Bring your knee to your nose. Doesn't have to touch your nose. That's just the thought. Deep breath in and knee up to the opposite side. Straight out. Same thing. So go for it with me. Bring it up into same elbow. Straight back, knee to nose. Hold her when you put her out. Sorry. And opposite side. Okay, now you have one more round if you watch. Straight back, I'm bringing it into the center, straight back, and exhale, opposite side. Good. Release, opposite leg comes straight back. You're pushing away from the mat. Deep breath in. My neck is just an extension of my spine. Big deep breath in. My leg's going to come up, up and over. Straight back, knee to nose is the idea. Doesn't have to be there. Straight back, opposite elbow. Up, up, up. Use that core. So engage the core. Straight back. Let it help you. Straight back and opposite elbow. Straight back. This is preparing us to bring our leg through. And this takes a lot of practice and a lot of time. So here's our modification. You're going to bring your leg out straight, right? You're going to take, and you can watch me at first or go for it if you've done this before. Take a deep breath in. You're going to bring knee to nose, but you're going to say, I'm going to bring my foot all the way through. Okay, now you're in a low lunge. This is a transition to a low lunge. Okay. Check it out. Try it out. We're going to move to the other side. So legs straight out. Deep breath in, knee to nose, all the way through. And I'll give you warning. Bring that leg back. Now, practice those, doing those, using your core, doing the same knee. That's great for the core. Come up, press back into your toes. We're going to go into a downward facing dog. Now just pedal it out at first. And pedals can be big, pedals can be small. Whatever you feel like you need today. And feet are hip width apart. Remember, that's 2 knuckles wide. Heels towards the earth. They don't have to be there. You feel free to bend the knees. Okay? Taking the hip and tilting it up. Just a little movement, and you're going to feel that long lengthening in the hamstrings and calves. My neck is just dropped, shaking it yes and no, not holding tension, pressing into my shoulders, plugged in, fingertips are spread real wide. Now just take a knee here and watch me. The next way to bring your leg through, and again takes practice, but really I watch people, it doesn't take that long once you come from a place of yes, I can do this. All right, so watch me. I'm coming into my downward facing dog. I'm going to put my left leg in the air. This is called three-legged dog. Okay, so when I say three-legged dog, it looks like this. I'm going to take a deep breath in. I'm going to come from a place of yes, look to the top of my mat and bring my foot all the way through. Now I'm in a runner's lunge. We went over lunges last week. So now I'm in a runner's lunge, but can still transition to a low lunge if I want to. Okay, now try it with me. Take your downward facing dog. Feet are hip width apart. Check yourself out. Core is engaged. Plug into your shoulder. Take your right foot to the center of your mat. Float your left leg up. What? Three-legged dog. Good. Take a deep breath in. Look to the top of your mat. Come from a place of yes, 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 I can do it. If your foot stops in the middle, take your hand and move it up. That's it. Okay? So if your body's not ready to do that, it's the first time you've done it, just take your hand and let it help it. Take the left foot to the center. Right foot floats up for three-legged dog. Take a deep breath in. Come from a place of yes, knee to nose all the way through. And if it doesn't come all the way, your hand can help it. All right? Now, downward facing dog. Look to the top of your mat. Walk your hands up to meet your feet to meet your hands and roll all the way up slowly. Head being the last thing to come up. Okay? Practice bringing the leg through. Now I'll show you how the modification works when we get into using that in our flow that we're adding on to. So, coming to the top of your mat. Remember, we start grounding. So, 4 corners of my feet are pressed into the mat. I can lift my toes up. Now I'm grounding from the bottoms of my feet through those roots growing through the ground. My quadriceps are flexed, or the muscles wrapped around the bones. Shoulders are back and down. My core is engaged. So core engagement for a second. You're flexing it. You can feel the bottom of your ribs. So it's not engaged, your ribs are apart. Okay, bring it up. bring it, flex it, and then bring it up into your rib cage. Your rib cage closes. That's engagement. That's a lot of stuff to think about. When I say engage, think of doing that, all right? Because you're going to be a pro, like I said before. Some people exercise or practice yoga all their lives and don't know exactly how to engage that core. And the more you do it, the more natural it comes. Shoulders are backing down. Starting in Tadasana. Now, hands up overhead. And we're going to forward fold, swan dive here. So dive out of your hip and release into a forward fold. Knees bent as generously as you want them to be. It's not about touching your toes, it's about getting the C curve in your back. So shake the head yes and no, so you know you're not holding tension. Breathe. And just let the blood flow to your head. If it feels good to kind of do these, whatever right here, again, just like with your neck. Just like your neck in the beginning, but here just let your neck go. All right? Half fold is hands to quadriceps. Elbows are tucked to the side of my body. Okay, flat back, like I could put a cup of coffee on it. This is a half fold. Exhale, forward fold again. Hands to the mat, step the right foot back into your lunge. Remember the lunges. Knee does never travels over the toe. You're never here. Okay, so check your toe out first, big thing. So, low lunge, hands hard, crescent arms. You might like the runner's lunge we did last week, so pressing back into the heel. I'm real tall, out of my hip, runner's lunge. And high lunge, coming up, finding something to focus on. My knee never changed. Hands to heart center or arms up. Okay, you pick your lunge. Go with it, whichever one you like the best for today. Hands to the ground. Take the front foot to meet the back into plank. Here, engage the core. Remember, bring it up, breathe, press away from the mat, pressing into the knuckles, out of the heels. Take a knee. Watch me for a second. Now, I gave you, if you're working on your upper body strength, or it's the first time you're doing these push-ups, I want you to take your knees, come forward on your knees, keep your elbows tucked. If your elbows are coming out, really practice this part here. Okay, build that upper body strength. So we're going to give another option here. So you can come forward on the knees, come all elbows tucked all the way down and into your baby cobra. You can come forward on the knees, come halfway down. You can loop through here, and now you're in big cobra. And if I press into my feet and lift my shins off the ground, I'm in up dog. Legs down. I'll send you a picture of that too. Legs down, big cobra. So those are your options, knee down. If you're going in your plank, if you've been doing these, if you know that your upper body strength, and when I came down, I'm leading with my chest. If my butt starts to go forward, that means my upper body's not ready. Okay, so you want to practice these and really definitely stay knee down. If you're fine there, press back out of the heels, plank, come forward on the toes, and bend the elbows. You can come all the way down, leading with, see my chest hit first, come up into baby cobra. Or you can do chaturanga, which is coming forward on your toes. Same thing. Elbows tucked, come halfway like we did, loop through into up dog, or legs down, big cobra. Okay? Join me. So we're going to go back. We step back into plank. And always, you can do knee down plank too. And I know that it's a lot on the wrist, so remember to press when we're learning this. We're a lot down here. So press into those knuckles. Okay? Plank. We just step back. We did our flow. We step back into plank. Now, if you're going to go knees down, drop your knees. Knees up, you're here. You're going to come up and you're going to go all the way down, leading with your chest. Or you're going to go halfway, elbows tucked, come into a big cobra or an up dog. Turn the toes under, press into downward facing dog. Okay, I told you we kick it up a notch. Whew. Right foot to the center of your mat. Float the left leg up. Or you can take your knees in tabletop and bring your leg through that way. Okay? It's up to you. leg to three-legged dog. Deep breath in, look to the top of your mat, come from a place of yes, 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 and bring that foot through. It doesn't come all the way, your arm can help it. Okay, go to your lunge. You can drop your knee. What did you do on the other side, and did you like it? And if you didn't, check something else out. Breathe. Good place to take a deep breath. Heart center, arms up. Runner's lunge, you're lifted, okay? Legs are strong. Hands to the mat. Take your front foot to meet the back. You're going to go into your plank. Here's where you're going to either come to your knees. I'll do it before I did it. Knees up. Now I'll drop my knees. Coming forward on my knees. Elbows tucked, 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 tucked. And I'm going to come halfway and loop through and meet everybody in a cobra or lifting up, pressing into my toes, up dog. Turn the toes under, press into downward facing dog. Look to the top of your mat. Walk your feet to meet your hands. And now we're going to reverse swan dive. So hands behind you. Come all the way up to heart center. Okay, so a few new things on that flow. Bringing the leg through and also moving through chaturanga or not, okay? But practicing those push-ups, keeping your elbows tucked, will build up the upper body strength in a great, safe way. So let's move to balancing. We're gonna do eagle. So we did tree pose the first night, and then I usually practiced it last week, but you can, I have a video of it, you can go and practice the tree pose. We're gonna move on to eagle though. So doing your body scan, pressing your feet into the ground, quadriceps are flexed, shoulders are back and down. Now, I'm going to find a drishti that's something that's a couple feet in front of me that's not going to move, that I can focus in on. Pressing into the left side of my body, so I know my drishti's there, but you guys can watch me. Pressing in the left side of my body, letting it know it's going to do the work. Lifting my left arm up. That's how you can remember whichever leg you're going to press into is the arm that you're going to put up first. It's better do it this way. So, levels of shoulder, this is all about shoulder flexibility, okay? So if you're here and your elbows won't come together, I'd stay here and let your shoulders get flexible. So bring them up and bring them back and down, okay? If you're here and your elbows are fine, you want to keep your left arm here, again, remember. Take your other arm underneath and kiss elbows. Okay? You can stay here. If you have the flexibility, you can bring your arms together. And if you have the flexibility, you can wrap the hand. Okay? Here, here, here. Okay? So you check out which way you want to do your arms. Still pressing the left side of the body. I'm going to come underneath and wrap. I'm going to bring my arms up however I have them and bring them down, shoulders back and down. As I do that, I'm going to sit back into chair pose. So I'm sitting back. My knees aren't going over my toes. I'll go this way for that. So here, body is as straight as you can get it. Your body might tend to do this. Just work on coming up straight. Pressing into the left side. Now, you want to take your foot in front of you, and this may be where you stay. Okay? So you get your balance. If you're fine here with balance, take your knee and wrap it on top of the other leg, still sitting back, and that back foot that points towards the calf. If you can wrap it around the calf, that's great. If not, I can't. See, I'm pointing it to where eventually I want it to go. So my body's as straight as I can get it. My core is engaged. I'm looking at that drishti. I'm focusing on the thing that's not moving that I can focus in on. If you come out of this, just start over again. Let your breath help you. Let your core help you. Unraveling from wherever you are, shaking it out. Okay? This is eagle. Also, you can do eagle arms. If you feel like you want to work, if that felt good, you want to work on the flexibility of your shoulders, you can just do the arms without the balancing posture. It's just called eagle arms. So other side, you're pressing into the right side of your body now. Right arm comes up. Okay, and you're gonna see where you're at. Sometimes it's not equal, but it's probably gonna be pretty close. So if your elbows didn't come together before, it's still the same. You still wanna get that shoulder flexibility in. If you have that flexibility, the right arm is up. I'm taking the left arm under and I'm kissing elbows. If the elbows don't kiss, I'm gonna guess you should have stayed here, maybe not. We're all built different. Okay, I can't see you. So kissing elbows, if they kiss, you can do one of these guys. You can bring them together, or you can wrap, all right? And then bringing your shoulders up and sitting all the way back, and then sitting back into that chair pose. So see, your body might want to do this, trying to bring it up as best you can, sitting back, okay? Now you're pressing into the right side, lifting the left leg up, okay? Maybe you stay here. Maybe you cross it over the other side, still sitting back, and then looking at your drishti. Once you have it, once you don't need to look at me, and then my toe is going to be pointed towards that calf. And I'm going to sit back as much as I feel I can or want to this day. Breathing. Eagle. Okay? Pushing out of it, unraveling. So shoulders are like, whoa! So any kind of movement that helps you with the shoulders. Let me go over chair. I should have done that first, but that's fine. Pressing the four corners of the feet into the mat. You want to sit back, okay? Like you're doing a squat, kind of like there's a wall behind you. So like you can even practice with a wall behind you. Sitting down on the wall. Knees do not go over the toes. When you're there, you want to bring your arms up overhead. Now, like I was saying before, sometimes you have to work to this. Okay, so you want to, you're grounding to rise, if that's making sense. So you're pushing into the earth to rise up. Okay, so really cool posture here, but it's much easier than it looks. It's not an easy one at all. So you're sitting back. My shoulders are back and down. If they're scrunched, just widen them a little bit. Okay, and then coming out of it, just to a forward fold too. It'll feel good. So in yoga, we're constantly, we'll work muscles and then we're going to stretch the muscles. Good, perfect. We're going to take it down to the mat and we're going to move into something that I do on the third week. And we're still going to do this in class, but I don't introduce it until halfway through because I don't want you guys to run out the front door. So it's really not that bad. It's just nobody likes it. But it's really great for the core. And I make sure you can see me and I don't light myself on fire. Okay, so boat. A bunch of stages of boat. So your hands on the ground to start, and you can either be finger spacing you or away. Knees are bent, and I'm engaging my core. Remember what that means. So you're flexing it and then bring it up into your rib cage. Now, your hands down. You can lift one foot at a time. That's fine, as long as the core is engaged, as long as you can feel it in your core. I'm sitting, I'm not back like this, and I'm not forward like this. I'm really kind of balancing on my sit bones. Behind me, this and this, okay? The next thing you want to move from there is lifting them both up. Knees bent is fine. Okay, so this is a boat variation. My hands are still on the ground. If you have a bad low back, you want to keep your hands down the whole time. Okay, if you're fine with this is, you're really working the core here. You should be shaking. You're going to come into full boat, legs straight, arms out straight, shoulders back and down, and breathing. Okay, so the core is engaged. You can turn your boat here. Even if your feet are on the ground, you're still going to turn your boat because we have that side core to work. Okay, I'm shaking, I'm working, so whether you're here, whether you're here, whether you're here, just engage that core, okay? No one likes the boat, but it's excellent for your core strength. So let's do a yin posture here and practice those. I'll ask you. Most people won't, but I can always ask. So this is turtle, and yin is, I teach it in my level 2. It's when you just let gravity do the work. You get into a posture and you just surrender to gravity. You don't try to move. You try not to move, actually. And you don't try to move into the posture. Once you get there, it's 3 to 5 minutes for this case. We're just going to do about 30 seconds on each side. Okay? So what you're going to do is take one arm and put it through your leg underneath. The other arm through and underneath. Okay? If that concept, so you can just hold on to your feet. All right? But I'm taking my arm underneath my calf and then underneath the other side. I'm going to drop my head. And I'm just going to stay here. So you're breathing, and what you want to do in yin is go inside the body. Drop the head, make sure, shake it yes and no, make sure you're not holding tension. And then go inside the body. So where do you feel it now? And just be real curious. Where am I feeling it? Without having to move or change it, as long as it's not sharp shooting. Just be curious, like it's the first day in your body. And in yin, as you breathe and stay in these postures, for a while, the place that you first felt it changes. And that's because once we get those big bossy muscles out of the way, yin begins to then stretch the ligaments and the tendons and the smaller muscles that we sometimes don't get to because we're so worried about the big bossy muscle, my hip hurts or my low back hurts. Well, let's examine it because we're here, we're going to be here for a while. Let's examine now, where am I feeling it? Sometimes I say picture your body without flesh. Just picture it if it was all like muscles and bones and blood flowing. How much your body is actually doing right now by surrendering to stillness. Okay, so we're still. But the body's doing so much work, such good work. Good. Undo the arms, and you can hold that posture. It's actually a real calming posture, and if you like it, some people love it, some people don't. Lift the head up last, and take a second to notice how you feel. A little different, right? Your body's like, why? We don't do that. We don't send blood to those places. We don't stretch those little muscles. We do this. So that's what's the beauty of yoga, is we're doing different things to our muscles and our bones and our organs and our minds and our souls, and I can go on and on. Now we went forward, let's go backwards into a back bend. So feet are on the ground, and we're going to go over the different cobras and the up dog, what we were just doing while we were in our flow. So baby cobra, we went over. Okay, hands are next to your chest, you're lifting from the base of your spine. And then big cobra, and your body will tell you if you're ready for it, okay? Your body will be like, whoa, okay? If it's not ready for it. Big cobra's here. Now your neck might tend to be up. You want to be just not tucked, but just straight ahead. Up dog is now, I'm up on my feet. My legs are not touching the ground at all. And up dog with a little back bend here. I just got a foot cramp. That happens a lot in up dog. Okay, so those are the different variations that you can use for your back bends. Okay, baby cobra, big cobra, up dog with a back bend. Good. Sit it back into child. Knees together or knees apart, and just give your back a big stretch, okay? Forehead may come to the ground. If not, you can make a pillow out of your fists. And glutes may come towards the heels. They don't have to be. Breathing. And we're going to take it onto the back now. And we're going to do a happy baby. Yeah, you can see me. So happy baby can be however you want it to be. You want to take your index fingers and grab your big toe. Now, if you're just ready to like rock back and forth like a baby and just kind of like play and you want your back to just chill and you're over it at this point, so you can just rock back and forth or go in circles, whatever makes you feel good. If you feel like we didn't do much of hips today, if you want a big hip stretch, you're gonna make your legs wide and then press your heels towards your glutes. And I promise you, you will feel that in your hips. Trying to relax the shoulders. So happy baby is really what you want to make of it. And different days you may feel differently. So this is happy baby. Good. Wrapping this up, you're just going to take your legs off, drop them off to one side. Arms straight out like a capital T, looking away from the side that your knees are pointed to. And just breathe. So supine twist. So still moving the spine, and you don't have to listen to each instruction, and you start to kind of flow with it, you'll notice how much we do move the spine in 6 ways throughout the practice. Good. Legs the other way. We learned a lot of new stuff today. Week 3 is the week of like, oh wow, we just learned a lot of stuff. That's a lot. The beauty of it is you guys can practice, practice, practice. Because next week is warriors. So we're adding on a whole another series of postures. And you want to have this part not down. You never have to have it down. Just understanding it, moving into the different postures before we move into warriors. Then we'll link those onto our flow. Good. Knees into your chest. Shoulders relaxed as best you can. Giving yourself a nice hug. Saying your mantra or something kind to yourself. Now coming into Shavasana, and I'll add the guided meditation to it. So as you come in, make sure if you need to get a drink of water, you need to go to the bathroom, just pause this, do whatever you need to do. And when you're ready, you just want to be laying flat on the ground. Sweatshirt on if you think you're going to get cold. There's this, you guys stay there and eyes closed if you're comfortable with it. Hands can be palms up, palms down, or on your stomach, whichever feels best for you. And just close your eyes and begin to relax your body. So there's this little part in all of us that is like a watchdog, and it's good that we have it, don't get me wrong, but it really gets a little jiggity when we need to relax. So a good way to tell that little part of you that you're in a safe place, you're doing something really good for yourself, is to touch in with get in touch with your senses. So what do you feel? What do you feel on the ground? What are the contact points on the mat? Does a part of you feel warmer than the other? What do you hear? What do you really hear? And what do you see? So you may see some colors. Now starting to do your body scan, relaxing your feet, bones and muscles in your feet. They might flop off to the side. Your calves, whatever's touching the mat, so your calves, your hamstrings, just let them go. And if you're not sure if you're holding them tight, tense them up and then release them. A lot of times we're holding unnecessary tension in our bodies. So the scan is great anytime. And then the front of your legs, relaxed. Your quadriceps, every muscle in the quadriceps, just let them go. And taking a nice deep breath in, and from your waist down, all the way down to the soles of your feet, exhale out and relax a little bit more. Your low back, your core that we talk about engaging, just let it go. The upper part of your back, just melting into your mat. Notice your fingers, clenching them. If you're not sure, make a fist and then just let each finger release. Finally moving to your neck. Taking a deep breath in, and from your neck all the way down, just relax a little bit further and let the air go out of the soles of your feet. Your face, your jaw, your tongue as it drops to the bottom of your mouth. Muscles around the eyes, so many muscles in your face, just letting them go. And I'm going to invite you to imagine yourself walking on a beautiful beach. Imagine the ocean before you, an infinite expanse of white beach. It's a warm summer's day, not too hot, just right. Experience the soft, warm sand with each step. Feeling grounded, connected with the earth. Solid, grounded, and centered. As you walk along the shore, come closer to the water. You walk to the very edge of the water and you feel the coolness and the wetness of the soft waves. Let yourself experience the water. And as you walk, notice the sun on your back, warming your back. Maybe you see your shadow in front of you. And as you turn towards the sun, notice the sparkles playing on the water, where fire meets water. Watch the light dance and feel the warmth on your skin. Notice the clean smell of the salt air and the beautiful cleansing breeze against your skin. Breathe in deeply and feel the air. Expand into the space around you, knowing there's plenty of room within and outside of you. Imagine a bright, empty blue sky with occasional drifting clouds. Coming back into this space, into this room, into your room, by moving your feet or moving your wrists, maybe nodding your head back and forth, just any little movements to bring you back. And when you're ready in your time, just coming onto your side and taking a nice big deep breath there. And again, when you're ready in your time, meeting me back in that seated position. trying to keep your eyes closed or a gentle gaze at the ground, keeping in that beach scene, that serenity, calmness. We're going to take a nice deep breath in, arms up overhead, breathing in all that will serve us. And a big exhale, nothing that you have to carry around. Leave it on the mat. Again, breathing in everything that nourishes your body, nourishes you. And exhaling anything negative you don't need. Arms up, hands to heart, hands together in Anjali Mudra. And then bringing them down to heart center. And one more time, either your mantra or something kind to yourself. Breathe it in and keep it there. And thank you all so much. Namaste.